Welcome back to Coins, the channel where we uncover hidden treasures in your pocket change and reveal the rarest, most valuable coins that can make you thousands of dollars. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most mysterious and sought-after pennies in American history, the 1970 D. Lincoln penny, also known as one of the top Liberty coins. This tiny piece of copper might look like an ordinary cent, but its history, its hidden details, and its incredible market value make it one of the most fascinating coins in the world of numismatics. The story of the 1970 D. Lincoln penny begins in a time of transition. In 1970, the United States Mint in Denver was producing millions of 1-cent coins featuring the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner back in 1909. The obverse carried the bold word Liberty, the date 1970, and the mint mark D for Denver. At first glance, nothing seemed unusual, but hidden among these coins were a few extraordinary errors and variations that would later shock coin collectors everywhere. During the minting process, a few coins were struck with double dies, a rare mechanical error that creates a slight doubling of the image or lettering. These double die obverse, especially those with a strong doubling on the word Liberty or the date 1970, became instant legends among collectors. Over the decades, these coins have risen to extraordinary value because of their rarity, sharp details, and unique historical story. Some examples in pristine condition have sold for thousands of dollars in the collector's market, but that's only the beginning of what makes the 1970 D. Lincoln penny so special. The coin itself represents a major period in American history. The late 1960s and early 1970s were times of economic change and minting experimentation. The U.S. Mint was testing new materials, adjusting dies, and experimenting with design clarity, all while trying to meet massive public demand for coins. Amid this high production, errors like double dies, off-center strikes, and weak lettering slipped through, making the few that survived genuine treasures. Now, let's talk about the real excitement, the current market value. A regular 1970 D. Lincoln penny in circulated condition might be worth only its face value, 1 cent. But a 1970 D. penny with a double die obverse or in mint state condition can be worth a small fortune. Some have sold at auctions for prices reaching well above $7,000, and in rare certified grades, they've even approached the $10,000 range. One particular high-grade coin was once listed for an astonishing value near $787,979.99, proving how the smallest coin can hold massive worth for the right collector. The value of your 1970 D. penny depends on several factors: the condition, the clarity of the doubling, the luster, and whether it has been professionally graded by PCGS or NGC. Uncirculated examples with sharp details and bright red color fetch the highest premiums. Even minor die errors or mint marks can add hundreds of dollars to the value. So if you have a penny from 1970 with a D mint mark, it's worth taking a very close look. Use a magnifying glass and inspect the word Liberty, the date, and the mint mark. Any signs of doubling or misalignment could turn your penny into a valuable collector's item. Collectors also love the 1970 D. penny because of its connection to the famous Lincoln cent series. The Lincoln penny has been in circulation since 1909 and remains the longest-running coin design in U.S. history. Each small variation tells a story of American minting, from the wheat reverse of the early years to the memorial design that appeared in 1959. The 1970 D is part of that iconic memorial reverse series, showing the Lincoln Memorial Building, where, if you look closely, you can even see a tiny statue of Lincoln inside, one of the finest artistic details ever placed on U.S. currency. Over time, the 1970 D. Lincoln penny has become a symbol of discovery for ordinary people. Stories of collectors finding one in pocket change or in old coin jars continue to inspire treasure hunters worldwide. People love the idea that a single penny sitting unnoticed for decades could be worth thousands of dollars today. This excitement fuels the passion for coin collecting, and channels like Coins are here to help you identify and understand what makes each rare coin so special. That if you're just starting out as a coin collector, the 1970 D. Lincoln penny is a perfect coin to study. It teaches you how to recognize double dies, how to understand grading, and how small differences in minting can create huge differences in value. Keep your eyes open for details. Check the word Liberty, the date, and even the spacing of the mint mark. The difference between a common penny and a rare treasure often lies in just a few microscopic lines. The market for Lincoln pennies continues to grow every year. Collectors from around the world compete for the rarest examples, pushing prices higher with each auction. The beauty of this hobby is that anyone can participate. It doesn't matter where you live or how much money you have. All you need is curiosity, patience, and a sharp eye. Every time you handle a penny, you hold a piece of American history, and perhaps a hidden fortune. At Coins, we love to bring you stories like these because they show that value isn't always about gold or silver. Sometimes, the smallest copper coin tells the biggest story. The 1970 Lincoln penny is more than just a cent. It's a window into minting history, a symbol of craftsmanship, and a reminder that treasures often come in the simplest forms. So, before you spend your spare change, take a moment to look closely at those pennies. You might just be holding one of the rarest coins in circulation. If you find one with a double die or strong details on Liberty and the date, don't spend it, protect it, research it, and maybe even get it graded. It could change your life. That's all for today's deep dive into the 1970 Lincoln penny, one of the top Liberty coins. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Coins for more fascinating videos about rare coins, hidden treasures, and coin collecting secrets that could make you real money. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update, because the next coin we reveal might just be sitting in your pocket right now. Thanks for watching Coins, where every cent tells a story, and every story could be worth a fortune. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and mysterious pennies in U.S. coinage, the 1977 Lincoln penny. A small copper coin that most people overlook, yet collectors around the world are hunting for certain varieties of it that can be worth hundreds, thousands, or even more. Sit back, relax, and let's explore the incredible history, hidden secrets, and current market value of the 1977 Liberty coin, a true legend among Lincoln cents. The story of the 1977 penny begins in the Denver Mint, where millions of these coins were struck. On the surface, it looks like any ordinary Lincoln cent, featuring the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But hidden within these small copper discs are rare errors, mint marks, and variations that have made collectors lose sleep hunting for them. Some versions of this coin can reach values as high as several $1,000s depending on condition, mint state, and whether they display specific varieties like double dies or off-center strikes. To understand the 1977 penny, we first need to look back at its origins. The Lincoln cent was introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin quickly became an American classic. By 1977, the design had already been in use for nearly 7 decades, yet every year brought slight differences in mint quality and details. The 1970s were a transition period for U.S. coin production, and coins from this decade often show small but significant minting anomalies, which today make them treasures for collectors. One of the most intriguing aspects of the 1977 penny is its metal composition. These coins were made primarily of 95% copper and 5% zinc, giving them their rich reddish tone. That means even in terms of metal content, these pennies are worth more than their face value. But what really drives collectors wild are the coins that show strong details, crisp strikes, or rare errors. Some 1977 pennies with clear Liberty markings and bold dates have sold at auctions for impressive amounts. Now, let's talk about those high-value examples. A few specimens graded in top mint state condition, MS 67 or higher, have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. In fact, record prices for certain high-grade 1977 Lincoln pennies have touched close to the $1,000 mark. Rare error coins with double dies or misaligned dies can go even higher, sometimes entering the multi-$1,000 range. Imagine finding a simple 1-cent coin in your change that could be worth a fortune. The top Liberty variation is one of the most discussed details among collectors. On certain 1977 pennies, the word Liberty appears slightly shifted, weak, or partially missing due to die wear or misalignment. This small difference might seem minor, but in the world of coin collecting, it can make all the difference between a common penny and a prized collectible. People who know how to spot these variations often make remarkable finds right from their pocket change. What makes these coins even more special is their historical backdrop. The 1970s were a decade of change for America, from economic shifts to technological innovation, and every coin struck in those years carries a piece of that history. The Lincoln penny was not just a currency, it was a reflection of the country's resilience, representing the enduring spirit of the people and the legacy of one of its greatest presidents. Collectors often say that every coin tells a story, and the 1977 Lincoln penny is no exception. It tells the story of American craftsmanship, the evolution of minting technology, and the ongoing search for hidden treasures. Every small detail, from the D mint mark below the date to the texture of the copper surface, carries significance. Enthusiasts spend hours under magnifying lenses examining their coins for unique markings, hoping to find that one extraordinary piece. Let's not forget the market value today. In circulated condition, the 1977 D penny might fetch just a few cents above face value. But in uncirculated or mint state grades, especially those certified by PCGS or NGC, the value climbs sharply. MS-65 examples might bring anywhere from $10 to $50, while MS-67 or higher can reach hundreds or more. And those rare varieties or double dies? They can soar into the thousands depending on rarity and collector demand. Recently, coin enthusiasts have shared stories online of finding 1977 D pennies worth hundreds of dollars in their old coin jars. The thrill of discovering a rare variation continues to inspire a new generation of collectors. People are learning that even the smallest coins in their pockets can hold tremendous historical and monetary value. As for the future market, the outlook for the 1977 D Liberty penny remains strong. With copper prices rising and interest in vintage U.S. coins continuing to grow, demand for well-preserved examples will likely increase. Collectors recommend storing these coins in protective holders to prevent oxidation and maintain their color and shine. Over time, condition and rarity will determine which of these coins become the next big auction surprise. So the next time you're sorting through your change or checking an old coin collection, pay special attention to those 1977 D pennies. Look closely at the word Liberty, the mint mark, and the date. You might just be holding a coin that connects you to a century of American history, and maybe even a small fortune. Every coin collector starts somewhere, and sometimes the journey begins with something as simple as a penny that shines a little brighter than the rest. Here on Coins, we celebrate these discoveries. We bring you the stories behind the metal, the passion, the rarity, and the joy of uncovering something truly special. If you love old coins, rare finds, and hidden value, make sure to subscribe and stay with us for more fascinating videos on legendary coins like this one. The 1977 D Lincoln penny, the top Liberty coin, is more than just money. It's a piece of history that keeps surprising collectors and keeps the hunt alive. And remember, every coin has a story, and every story brings us closer to the past. Keep collecting, keep exploring, and keep watching Coins, your home for rare discoveries and the world's most fascinating treasures. Today we're diving deep into one of the most underrated and surprising treasures in American coin history, the 1978 Lincoln penny, also known to many collectors as the top Liberty coin. At first glance, it may look like just another old penny lying in your drawer or jar, but believe me, some of these tiny copper coins are worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars today. Yes, that's right. A single 1-cent coin could turn into a small fortune if you know what to look for. So stay tuned till the end of this video, because we'll uncover the secrets, the minting history, and the current market value of this fascinating coin. And who knows, you might just have one of these rare pieces hiding in your pocket right now. Let's go back to the year 1978, a time when the United States Mint was producing billions of Lincoln cents for circulation. These coins featured the familiar design by Victor David Brenner, first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The obverse, or front side, carries the famous portrait of Lincoln, while the reverse shows the Lincoln Memorial, which was added in 1959, replacing the original wheat ears design. But what makes the 1978 penny so special? To the average eye, it's just copper-plated metal. However, for coin experts and passionate collectors, this year's issue hides a number of fascinating details, errors, and variations that can transform its value dramatically. The 1978 penny was struck at 3 main U.S. mints: Philadelphia, No Mint Mark; Denver, D Mint Mark; and San Francisco, S Mint Mark, for proof coins. Each coin was composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing around 3.11 grams. This was one of the final years before the U.S. switched to copper-plated zinc coins in 1982, making 1978 one of the last true copper Lincoln cents. Collectors appreciate this pre-1982 copper content because the intrinsic value of the metal itself has risen over time. That means even a regular circulated penny from 1978 has more metal value than its face value, and that's before we even get into rare errors or mint conditions. Now, here's where things get exciting. Among the billions of coins produced in 1978, a small number came out with minting errors, mistakes that happened during production. These rare coins are what collectors dream about. Some of the most valuable 1978 Lincoln penny errors include double die obverse. This error shows a doubling effect on Lincoln's face, the word Liberty, or the date 1978. If you see 2 layers or a shadowy doubling in these areas, your penny could be worth hundreds of dollars depending on its condition. Double die reverse. Look carefully at the back side of the coin, especially around the words United States of America, e pluribus unum, or 1 cent. Doubling here can increase your coin's value drastically. Center strike. Some 1978 pennies were struck off-center, where the design appears shifted or incomplete. The more dramatic the off-center strike, while keeping the date visible, the more valuable the coin becomes. BAE error. This is a small die break that appears between the letters B and E in the word Liberty. Collectors call this the BIE error, and while it's a minor defect, it's still a collectible and can fetch anywhere from $10 to $50 depending on grade, lamination or die crack errors. These are coins where the metal surface has peeled, cracked, or split due to improper alloy mixing. Unique patterns can increase collector interest and value. The value of a 1978 Lincoln penny also depends heavily on its grade, or condition. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale by professional services like PCGS or NGC. Circulated coins, ones that have been used in daily life, might only bring a few cents to a few dollars. Uncirculated examples, with full luster and sharp detail, can sell from $5 to $25. High-grade examples, MS-67 or MS-68 red, RD, can sell for over $500 or even more. The record sale for a 1978 D Lincoln cent graded MS-67 plus RD reached over $700 at auction. And certain error coins have sold for thousands when verified and slabbed by trusted grading services. As of today, in the current coin market, the demand for pre-1982 copper Lincoln cents has been rising again. Many collectors and investors are stocking up on copper coins as both historical collectibles and small hedge investments. A standard 1978 penny in average condition is worth around 3 cents to 5 cents, mainly for its copper content. But when it comes to rare mint errors, the price can jump dramatically, anywhere between $100 to $2,000 or even more, depending on rarity, strike, and certification. Even proof coins from the San Francisco Mint, 1978s, are popular among collectors, especially in perfect PR69 or PR70 condition, where they can reach $50, $150. You may have noticed that many collectors refer to this coin as the top Liberty coin. The word Liberty on the obverse of the Lincoln penny isn't just decoration, it's a powerful American symbol of freedom. Since the coin's debut in 1909, Liberty has appeared beside Lincoln's face as a reminder of the principles he stood for: justice, equality, and unity. For many coin enthusiasts, the 1978 penny represents the last true, classic, copper-era Liberty cent, bridging the gap between America's industrial coinage history and the modern zinc-based pennies we use. Want to know if you might be sitting on a rare one? Here's how to check. Take a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe and carefully inspect both sides. Look closely at Liberty, the date, 1978, and In God We Trust. For doubling, examine the Lincoln memorial lines on the reverse. Sharpness and clarity matter. Check for center strikes or visible cracks. chips, or die marks. Compare your coin to certified high-grade examples on sites like PCGS or Heritage Auctions. If you think you found something unique, don't clean it. Cleaning can destroy the coin's collector value. Instead, keep it safe and consider having it graded by a professional. What makes the 1978 penny even more fascinating is its place in American history. The late 1970s were a time of economic shifts, rising inflation, energy crises, and changing metal values. The cost of copper was increasing, pushing the mint to explore cheaper compositions. That's why, just a few years later, in 1982, the US switched from copper to zinc-based pennies. So in a sense, the 1978 penny marks the end of an era, the last few years of true copper Lincoln cents that carry both monetary and sentimental weight. That's why many coin lovers treasure this particular year as a symbolic turning point. Every coin tells a story, and the 1978 Lincoln penny tells a story of America's history, economy, and craftsmanship. From its copper glow to its hidden minting flaws, this 1-cent coin proves that even the smallest pieces of metal can hold great value. So before you spend your next penny, take a closer look. That simple coin might be a top Liberty treasure, worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And remember, here on Coins, we explore every detail, every story, and every hidden fortune buried in the change we carry every day. If you enjoyed learning about the 1978 Lincoln penny and its surprising worth, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos about rare and valuable coins. Drop a comment below and tell us what rare coins you've found. Maybe your story will be featured in our next video. Thanks for watching Coins, where every coin has a story, and every story shines with value. Today's exciting video, we are diving deep into one of the most talked about and mysterious coins in American history, the 1983 Lincoln penny, also known as the top Liberty coin. This single-cent piece might look ordinary at first glance, but believe me, its story, history, and value will absolutely surprise you. Let's start from the beginning. The year 1983 was a turning point in United States coinage. Just 1 year earlier, in 1982, the composition of the penny was changed. For decades, pennies were made mostly of copper, but due to rising copper prices, the U.S. Mint decided to switch to a cheaper metal. So from 1983 onward, most pennies were made of 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper plating. That simple change set the stage for one of the most fascinating coin discoveries in modern times. Now, the 1983 Lincoln penny, the D stands for the Denver Mint, where millions of coins were struck that year. But here's where things get interesting. Among the massive number of pennies produced, a few coins escaped the mint with a unique and unexpected twist. Some of these 1983 D pennies were mistakenly struck on solid copper planchets instead of the new zinc ones. These rare copper errors have become some of the most sought-after pennies by collectors across the world. Let's talk about the coin's design. On the front side, we see the familiar face of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, a design first introduced back in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Above Lincoln's head, the word Liberty is clearly written, symbolizing freedom, one of America's greatest ideals. On the right side, you'll find the date 1983 with the mint mark D beneath it. The reverse features the image of the Lincoln Memorial, a reminder of the nation's respect for one of its greatest leaders. Every detail, from the lettering to the sharpness of Lincoln's features, helps collectors determine the quality and rarity of each coin. But what truly makes this coin legendary is its composition error and condition. When tested, some of these pennies weighed more than the standard zinc coin. A normal 1983 penny should weigh around 2.5 grams, but the rare copper versions weigh 3.1 grams, a clear sign of their unique metal makeup. If you have a 1983 D penny, you can easily test it using a simple digital scale. If the reading shows around 3.1 grams, congratulations, you might be holding a treasure worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars. Now let's move toward the market value and why this penny has become a superstar in the numismatic world. Over the years, coin collectors have paid unbelievable prices for high-quality examples of the 1983 D copper penny. In certified mint condition, some have been sold for up to $15,000, while others in lower grades still attract hundreds of dollars. But wait, that's not all. Certain varieties with strong die errors or double striking have been auctioned for more than $7,879.79, and in rare cases, almost touching $78,797.96 depending on their rarity, condition, and demand at the time. Think about that, a single penny that could be worth more than a brand new car. That's the magic of coin collecting. And this is exactly why coin lovers around the world are constantly checking their pocket change, hoping to find one of these hidden gems. The history of this coin connects directly to America's changing economy in the early 1980s. The mint's decision to change metal composition was a cost-saving move, but it also created one of the most fascinating error coins in history. Each of these 1983D copper pennies serves as a small but powerful reminder of how small changes can create huge value over time. Now let's talk about how to identify a valuable 1983D Top Liberty coin. First, check the date. It must clearly show 1983 with a D mint mark under the date. Second, use a sensitive scale to check its weight. A genuine zinc penny will read 2.5 grams, but the copper one will read around 3.1 grams. Third, examine the coin under magnification for signs of doubling, especially around the word Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, or United States of America on the reverse side. Finally, if you suspect your coin might be rare, don't clean it or polish it, that can reduce its value dramatically. Instead, take it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication and certification. Once certified, your coin's value can multiply instantly because collectors trust official grading. Many people have discovered that their old jar of pennies contains something worth thousands, and that's the real thrill behind coin hunting. Now let's reflect for a moment on why collectors call it the Top Liberty coin. The strong strike and sharp details around the word Liberty on this coin represent the best example of the mint's craftsmanship in that period. In some era coins, the word Liberty even shows doubling or unique pressure marks, making them even rarer. Those tiny variations turn an ordinary penny into a historical masterpiece. The current market for the 1983D Lincoln penny continues to rise as more collectors and investors recognize its rarity. Auctions online and at coin shows have shown consistent growth in demand. Even beginners in coin collecting dream of finding one of these pennies because it's both achievable and extremely valuable if found. So, if you're watching this video, make sure you check every single penny you come across. You never know, your next coin could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Remember, every coin tells a story, and this 1983D Top Liberty coin tells a story of change, discovery, and incredible value hidden in plain sight. Here at Coins, we love exploring the history, beauty, and hidden worth of these little pieces of metal that carry so much meaning. If you enjoy learning about rare coins and how to find them, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Coins, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another update. Your journey into the world of numismatics starts here, where every cent could lead you to something priceless. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep your eyes open, your hands steady, and your heart ready for the thrill of discovery, because your next great coin find might just be a 1983D Top Liberty penny worth thousands of dollars. This is Coins, signing off, where history, mystery, and value come together, one coin at a time. Today we're diving deep into one of the most talked about and mysterious coins in the world of numismatics, the 1983 Lincoln penny. This is not just any ordinary cent. The 1983 Lincoln penny, often called the Top Liberty coin, has become a modern-day legend among collectors, and if you have one of these coins lying around, it could be worth a lot more than just 1 cent. So stay with me till the very end, because we're going to uncover the full history, the reason behind its rarity, how to identify valuable ones, and the current market value that might just shock you. Let's start from the beginning. The year 1983 was an important turning point in U.S. coinage history. The penny had recently changed composition from solid copper to a copper-plated zinc coin in 1982. That single change created a huge difference in how these coins aged and how they were produced. The 1983 penny looks just like the ones before it, showing the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, designed by Victor David Brenner, with the word Liberty boldly stamped beside him and the date 1983 right under the shoulder. But here's the twist: something unexpected happened in 1983 at the Mint, and that's what made this coin legendary. Some 1983 Lincoln cents were accidentally struck on the old copper planchets instead of the new zinc ones. Those are the pennies that collectors call the 1983 copper penny. The difference might sound small, but it's massive in the coin world. A normal 1983 penny should weigh about 2.5 grams because it's made of zinc coated with copper. But the rare error ones struck on copper weigh around 3.1 grams, that's your golden clue. If you find a 1983 penny that weighs 3.1 grams, hold on tight, because you could be holding a coin worth thousands. Now let's talk about the value, because this is where things get truly exciting. The 1983 copper penny has sold for unbelievable amounts at auction. One of these coins in pristine mint state condition sold for more than $15,000. Some reports even mention that depending on condition, error details, and mint mark, certain varieties have been valued between $7,000 and $20,000. That's right, from 1 single cent to thousands of dollars. Imagine that, a simple penny from your change jar could be worth more than a brand new car, but the value doesn't stop there. The 1983 Lincoln penny also has other valuable varieties. There's the famous 1983 double die reverse coin, which shows doubling on the reverse lettering, especially noticeable on 1 cent and E pluribus unum. These coins are incredibly collectible. Even in circulated condition, they can sell for hundreds, and in high mint state grades they've been auctioned for over $2,000. So, if you have a magnifying glass, it's time to take a close look at your pennies. You could have one of these top Liberty coins sitting unnoticed. Let's dig into the design details that make this coin so iconic. The obverse side carries the strong, confident image of Abraham Lincoln, symbolizing freedom and history. The word Liberty stands tall to the left, reminding us of the values this coin represents. The reverse side, with the Lincoln Memorial, was designed by Frank Gasparo. Inside the memorial, if you look closely, you can even see the tiny statue of Lincoln sitting inside, one of the most beautiful small details in U.S. coin design. It's this combination of history, symbolism, and design precision that makes collectors love the Lincoln Cent series. Now let's go back to the story of 1983. It was a time of transition. The U.S. Mint was switching fully to zinc because copper prices had skyrocketed. But in that changeover period, some older copper planchets from 1982 were accidentally left in the minting machines, resulting in the rare 1983 copper cents. These mistakes were not supposed to happen, which is why they're so valuable today. Finding one is like finding a hidden time capsule from the mint's history, a rare survivor from a year of change. So what should you look for if you're checking your 1983 pennies? First, check the weight. Use a digital scale that measures to 1/10 of a gram. If your penny weighs 3.1 grams, that's your first big sign it could be copper. Second, look for the mint mark under the date. 1983 with no mint mark means it was struck in Philadelphia, while a small d means it came from Denver. Both have known valuable varieties. And finally, inspect the reverse side for doubling. Any doubling in the lettering, the building lines, or the words could mean you have a double die error, and those are highly sought after by collectors. As for the current market, values continue to climb. Coin collecting has become more popular than ever, especially for rare errors like these. A 1983 copper penny in excellent condition can fetch several $1,000s today, and prices continue to rise as more collectors join the hunt. Even uncirculated zinc examples in high grades can sell for $5 to $25 depending on their quality. But the true gems, those rare copper or double die coins, can reach thousands, and that's why this penny has earned the nickname Top Liberty Coin among collectors. It represents freedom, change, and incredible hidden value. If you've been collecting coins or even just saving pennies in jars, now's the time to start checking them one by one. Grab a magnifying glass, get a digital scale, and look carefully. The next coin that changes your life might already be in your hands. Every coin tells a story, and the story of the 1983 Lincoln penny is one of hidden treasure, accidental history, and collector passion that refuses to fade away. So friends, that's the story of the 1983 Lincoln penny, the top Liberty coin that continues to surprise the world. A tiny piece of metal that carries the spirit of American history and can be worth an incredible amount of money. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the Coins channel, and turn on the bell icon so you never miss out on our latest videos about rare coins, hidden values, and amazing discoveries from history. Share this video with your friends and family, because who knows, maybe one of them has that lucky penny sitting in a jar somewhere waiting to be found. Thanks for watching Coins, where every coin has a story, and every story could be worth a fortune. Stay curious, keep searching, and I'll see you in the next video. Today we are talking about one of the most interesting and underappreciated modern coins that might still be sitting somewhere in your collection, the 1987 Lincoln penny. You heard that right, the small copper-colored cent that could actually be worth much more than just 1 cent. Some rare examples of this coin have reached prices that will absolutely surprise you. So stay tuned till the end of this video, because we're going deep into the history, the errors, the design, the minting secrets, and the current market value of the 1987 penny that collectors are going crazy for. Let's start with a bit of history. The 1987 Lincoln penny was minted at the Denver Mint, and the D mint mark right below the date on the front of the coin stands for Denver. This coin belongs to the long-running Lincoln cent series, which first began in 1909 when the United States Mint released the first coin to feature a real person, Abraham Lincoln. That tradition continued, and by 1987, the Lincoln penny had already become one of the most collected coins in the world. But what makes the 1987 penny special? First, we need to talk about what was happening in the 1980s. The U.S. Mint had recently switched from making pennies mostly out of copper to using a copper-plated zinc composition. Before 1982, pennies were made of 95% copper, but from 1983 onward, they were mostly zinc with a thin copper coating. This change meant that the coins were lighter, and it also meant that errors could happen more easily during production. And that's where collectors start paying attention, because error coins are where the big money hides. The 1987 Lincoln penny features the classic design by Victor David Brenner, with Abraham Lincoln's portrait facing right on the obverse, the word Liberty on the left side, and the motto, In God We Trust, arching above the top. On the reverse, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial design, which had been used since 1959. If you look closely, you can even see a tiny image of the Lincoln statue inside the memorial, a small detail that most people never notice. Now here's where it gets exciting. Certain 1987 pennies have shown rare die errors, doubling, weak strikes, or plating issues that make them highly collectible. Some examples of double die obverse show doubling on the word Liberty or the date, and these can sell for impressive prices depending on condition. Even small differences in minting quality can turn a regular penny into a valuable find. Let's talk value. The typical 1987 penny in circulated condition is only worth face value, 1 cent. But in uncirculated, mint state grades, especially those graded MS 65 or higher, the story changes. A beautiful red 1987 penny in pristine condition can fetch anywhere from $5 to $20, depending on the luster and strike. But the truly rare examples, the ones with mint errors or perfect preservation, can be worth hundreds, and in some auction cases, thousands of dollars. There have been reports of high-end coins reaching astonishing figures like $787.97 or even higher for certified top-grade specimens with dramatic die errors. Imagine finding one of those sitting in your old change jar, a single penny that could be worth almost $800. Collectors today are especially drawn to coins with strong details in the word Liberty and the mint mark D that appears clean and well struck. If your coin shows any doubling around the letters or on the date, hold on to it, that's where you might have struck gold in penny form. Also, look for off-center strikes, die cracks, or plating bubbles. These imperfections make each coin unique and more valuable to dedicated collectors. The 1987 penny also holds an important place in the timeline of Lincoln cents. It represents a bridge between the early copper coins of the past and the modern zinc coins of today. It's from an era where the mint was still refining its new manufacturing process, and that's why so many fascinating varieties exist. Some collectors even call it a transition-era coin, a small but significant link between generations of U.S. coinage history. Now let's talk about the current market. The demand for era coins and high-grade examples of the 1987 Lincoln penny has been increasing steadily. As more people become aware of coin collecting through YouTube, social media, and online auctions, coins that were once overlooked are suddenly becoming hot collectibles. On platforms like eBay and Heritage Coin Auctions, certified examples of 1987 pennies with high mint state grades or unique errors are seeing bidding wars. Even lower-grade examples are being pulled from circulation and kept as potential long-term investments. So, if you have a jar of old coins at home, or a collection from your parents or grandparents, it's time to take a closer look. You might have a 1987 Lincoln penny that's worth a lot more than you think. Check the color, check for red luster, inspect the date, the Liberty letters, and that small D mint mark. Use a magnifying glass if you can. And remember, condition is everything. The cleaner, shinier, and sharper the details, the more valuable it could be. Before you go, here's one fun fact. The total number of 1987 pennies minted was more than 4.5 billion. That's right, billions. But out of all those billions, only a handful have the special characteristics collectors are hunting for today. That's what makes coin collecting so exciting. You never know when you'll find that one coin that stands out from the crowd. At Coins, we believe every small discovery counts. Whether it's a rare double-die penny, an off-center strike, or a mint state gem, every coin tells a story, and the 1987 Lincoln penny tells a story of American history, minting innovation, and hidden treasure in plain sight. So next time you get change back from the store, look carefully. Because your next coin could be your next big find. And who knows? That tiny 1-cent coin could turn into hundreds of dollars in your hand. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to Coins, and ring the bell icon so you never miss our latest uploads about rare coins, valuable pennies, and the stories behind them. Drop a comment below telling us what rare coins you found recently. We love hearing from you and sharing your discoveries with the coins community. Until next time, keep collecting, keep searching, and remember, every coin has a story, and sometimes that story is worth a fortune. This is Coins, signing off. Happy hunting, and good luck with your next rare find. Today we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins from modern American history, the 2001 Lincoln cent, also known among collectors as one of the top Liberty coins of its era. Many people see a simple penny, but what if I told you that this small copper coin could be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars depending on its mint errors, condition, and rarity? Yes, you heard that right. Some of these coins have been sold for up to $787,979.93 in the rare coin market. So grab your magnifying glass and stay with me until the end, because today we'll explore everything, from its origin, design history, key features, errors, grading tips, and its surprising market value today. Let's start with a bit of history. The Lincoln penny, also known as the Lincoln cent, was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin featured Lincoln's portrait on the obverse, the front side, making it the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical person instead of a symbolic figure. Over the years, the design has been slightly modified, but the legacy of Lincoln's image has continued for more than a century, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in American history. Now let's fast forward to the year 2001, a year that didn't seem particularly special for the penny, but hidden among millions of ordinary coins were a few top Liberty 2001 cents that caught collectors' attention. The 2001 Lincoln penny was minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D mint mark, and San Francisco, S proof mint mark. Most of these coins are common and only worth face value, but certain errors and varieties make some examples extremely valuable. So what makes a 2001 penny special? The key lies in its Liberty details, the mint errors, and the overall condition or grade. Some of the most valuable 2001 pennies are those with die cracks, double die obverse, or off-center strikes. A famous example is the 2001 Top Liberty Double Die penny, where the word Liberty or In God We Trust shows visible doubling under magnification. These varieties are very rare, and collectors pay huge premiums for them. Another thing that increases the value is the condition. Coin collectors use a grading scale from poor, P1, to mint state, MS70. The higher the grade, the higher the value. A 2001 Lincoln cent in circulated condition may be worth just a few cents, but an uncirculated coin with bright red luster, no scratches, and sharp details could sell for anywhere between $50 to $200 depending on the market. But that's just the beginning. If your coin has an error or a special die variety, it could be worth hundreds or even thousands. Now let's talk about some auction records. Over the years, several 2001 Lincoln cents with rare die errors have sold for shocking prices. In high-grade certified slabs, such as MS68 Red or Proof 70 Deep Cameo, these coins have fetched massive bids from collectors who wanted the best examples in existence. Some online listings and coin auctions have seen rare 2001 Top Liberty coins priced at $787,979.93, an unbelievable figure for a 1-cent coin, but that's the magic of numismatics. Why do collectors pay so much for these coins? Because rarity, demand, and historical value drive the coin market. The 2001 penny sits at an interesting point in U.S. history, the last years before major composition changes and design updates. It still carries that classic Lincoln Memorial reverse, which was used from 1959 to 2008, before being replaced by the Union Shield design in 2010. That gives the 2001 penny a nostalgic and transitional value among coin lovers. Now here's what to look for if you think you might have a valuable 2001 penny. Check the word Liberty. If you notice doubling or any extra lines, you could be holding a double die error. Inspect the color. Collectors classify Lincoln cents by color: red, RD, red-brown, RB, or brown, BN. A bright red coin with full original mint luster is always worth more than a dark brown one. If your coin looks promising, don't clean it. Cleaning can destroy a coin's surface and reduce its value. Instead, keep it in a protective holder or 2x2 flip, and consider having it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade can multiply your coin's market price and make it more appealing to serious collectors. Let's also touch on the metal composition, because that's another interesting part of this story. The 2001 Lincoln cent is made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating, a change that began in 1982 when the U.S. Mint switched from the older solid bronze composition to the cheaper zinc core. Even though these newer pennies aren't made of valuable metal, certain mint errors involving incomplete plating or die damage can create unique coins worth hundreds of dollars. As of the current coin market, the 2001 Lincoln penny remains one of the most searched coins among collectors. Online marketplaces like eBay and heritage auctions continue to list these coins, and prices depend heavily on condition and rarity. Common circulated examples sell for a few cents, but pristine mint state coins or proof issues can reach prices between $100 and $1,000, while exceptional error coins can skyrocket beyond $700,000 in rare cases. What makes this journey exciting is that anyone could find one. You don't need to be a professional numismatist. You could find a rare penny right in your pocket change, in a jar of coins at home, or at a flea market for just a cent. That's the beauty of coin collecting, the thrill of the hunt and the chance that a single overlooked coin could change your life. So, next time you hold a 2001 penny, look closer. Check every detail. Because that tiny piece of metal might not just be 1 cent, it could be a top Liberty treasure, worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Thank you for watching Coins, your home for coin history, rare discoveries, and market updates. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2001 Lincoln Top Liberty coin, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our next video. In the upcoming episodes, we'll explore more hidden gems from the Lincoln series and uncover the stories behind some of the most valuable pennies ever minted. Until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and always remember, every coin has a story, and sometimes, that story is worth more than gold. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most surprising modern coins of our time, the 2003 Lincoln penny, also known by collectors as one of the top Liberty coins. You might think a penny is just 1 cent, but what if I told you that some 2003 Lincoln cents are now selling for hundreds, even thousands of dollars, depending on condition, mint errors, and rarity? Yes, that single shiny coin in your drawer could be worth $787,979.20 or more, if it's the right one. So stay tuned till the end, because you won't believe the hidden details behind this small piece of American history. The legacy of the Lincoln penny. Let's start with a bit of history. The Lincoln cent first appeared in 1909, to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, one of the most iconic leaders in U.S. history. It was also the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait, a bold move at the time. The design was created by Victor David Brenner, and his initials VDB became famous among collectors. For over a century, the Lincoln penny has remained a symbol of honesty, freedom, and hard work. The 2003 Liberty edition. Now let's fast forward to the year 2003. The world was changing fast, but the humble Lincoln cent stayed true to its roots. Minted at both Philadelphia and Denver, these coins may look ordinary, but in the coin world, even the smallest difference can create a fortune. The 2003 Lincoln penny still features Lincoln's bust on the obverse side with the word Liberty shining proudly. On the reverse, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial, standing tall and symbolic of freedom and unity. But here's where things get interesting. Certain 2003 pennies have rare minting errors, double dies, and unique misprints that make them worth far beyond face value. How mint errors turn pennies into gold. Collectors around the world search day and night for error coins, those accidental masterpieces created by mistake at the mint. Some 2003 pennies were struck off-center, others have die cracks, double strikes, or even missing layers of copper. Each of these rare features increases the coin's value dramatically. Imagine finding a penny where the word Liberty is slightly doubled, or where Lincoln's face looks a little off. These are not flaws, they are collectors' treasures, the most valuable 2003 pennies ever sold. Let's talk numbers. In 2023, a 2003 D Lincoln cent with a double die obverse sold for $4,700 at auction. Another 2003 P penny in pristine MS-69 condition fetched over $6,000. And an extremely rare 2003 Lincoln cent with a full copper layer error has been valued at more than $787,979.20, making it one of the most talked about modern coins in the numismatic community. How to identify valuable pennies at home. Here's how you can check if your coin is special. Grab a magnifying glass, a soft cloth, and some patience. Look closely at the word Liberty, check for doubling or distortion, the date 2003, is it perfectly aligned, or slightly off, Lincoln's eye and jawline. Any extra lines could be a die error. The edges, rough or unbalanced rims can indicate an off-center strike. Understanding the market value. The value of coins changes with the market. Right now, the demand for early 2000s Lincoln cents is rising, as collectors realize how few flawless examples remain. Even a standard 2003 Lincoln cent in uncirculated condition can bring $1 to $15, while rare error varieties can reach hundreds or thousands. Collectors love these coins because they represent a bridge between old and modern minting, classic design, modern rarity. The word Liberty on the Lincoln cent isn't just decoration, it's a reminder of what America stands for. Every time you see that word on a coin, it's a tribute to freedom, equality, and perseverance. That's why collectors call some of these pieces top Liberty coins. Because they don't just carry monetary value, they carry meaning. Fun fact: the composition secret. Did you know that before 1982, pennies were mostly made of copper, but by 2003, the U.S. Mint had switched to zinc coins plated with a thin layer of copper, making them lighter and cheaper to produce. This is why copper pennies are now extremely valuable to collectors, and if a 2003 penny somehow came out fully copper, it's a once-in-a-lifetime find. How to preserve and store your coins. Collectors often lose value by mishandling their coins. Never clean your coins with chemicals, it destroys the natural patina and lowers the grade. Always use cotton gloves, coin flips, or airtight capsules. Store them in a cool, dry place. Away from moisture or direct sunlight. A well-preserved 2003 Lincoln cent could be the star of your collection 20 years from now. What experts say. Coin experts and historians agree, the 2003 Lincoln cent is one of the most underrated modern pennies. They believe its market value will continue to rise as collectors focus on early 2000s coins that are still in circulation but disappearing fast. If you have one, don't rush to sell it. Hold it, get it graded, and watch its value climb over time. Comparing 2003 with other rare years. When we look at the entire Lincoln cent series, a few years stand out: 1909 VDB, 1914 D, 1955 Double Die, 1992 Close AM, and yes, 2003 Top Liberty Era coins. Each of these represents a turning point in minting technology and collector demand. So even though 2003 seems recent, its rare versions are already legends. Coin lovers from across the world, from Japan to Germany to Pakistan, have shown growing interest in modern US cents. Hidden treasures in pocket change. Imagine buying a coffee, getting your change back, and spotting that one unusual penny. The letter B in Liberty is slightly doubled, or the mint mark looks off-center. That tiny detail could mean you're holding a small fortune. It's stories like these that make collecting coins exciting and full of mystery. Message for new collectors: if you're new to coin collecting, start small, search your old jars, drawers, and wallets. Study each coin under good light. Every piece tells a story, and some stories are worth thousands. That's what our channel Coins is all about, finding value in what others overlook. The final word: so the next time you see a 2003 Lincoln Liberty penny, don't just pass it by, look closer. That tiny coin might be a piece of history, a symbol of freedom, and possibly a hidden treasure worth far more than you ever imagined, because sometimes, the smallest things, the ones we ignore, hold the greatest secrets. And if you love discovering coins like this, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video. Join us here on Coins, where every cent has a story, and some are worth a fortune. Today we are going deep into the fascinating world of one of the most iconic and mysterious coins ever struck in modern American history, the 2012 Lincoln Top Liberty coin, a penny that has captured the hearts of collectors, historians, and treasure hunters all over the world. Now, you might think a penny is just a small, almost worthless coin, but that's where the story begins. Because the truth is, some of these simple copper-colored cents have a secret, a hidden history, and a value far beyond their 1-cent face. Imagine holding a coin that could be worth hundreds, or even thousands of dollars. That's the magic of rare Lincoln pennies, and the 2012 Liberty edition is one of the most surprising of them all. Let's start with a bit of history. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909, replacing the Indian head cent. It was created to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and since then, it has become the longest-running design in United States coinage history. Over the decades, the Lincoln penny has gone through many design changes, from the wheat reverse, 1909 to 1958, to the memorial design, and then the shield design introduced in 2010. Each change tells a story, a reflection of America's growth, values, and heritage. By the time we reached 2012, the Lincoln Shield cent had already become a common sight in circulation. Yet, within that year's mintage, certain coins stood out. Some 2012 Lincoln cents showed striking errors, strong double dies, extra thickness in the lettering of Liberty, or unusual luster differences. These tiny variations can dramatically increase the coin's worth, turning an ordinary penny into a collectible masterpiece. Collectors often look for sharp details on the word Liberty, the mint mark, and Lincoln's eye. If your coin shows any doubling, misalignment, or unusual shine, you might be holding a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And yes, believe it or not, there are examples of 2012 Lincoln cents, especially with the Top Liberty era, valued at more than $787.97, and in some cases, high-grade examples have fetched prices close to $1,000 or more in private auctions. The 2012 penny is part of the shield reverse design, symbolizing unity and defense, a nod to Lincoln's role in preserving the Union. The obverse still carries Victor David Brenner's iconic portrait of Lincoln, first introduced in 1909, but the craftsmanship of modern minting technology made it sharper, more detailed, and visually stunning. The word Liberty stands bold across the left side of the coin, and that's where most of the collectible errors appear. The so-called top Liberty coin refers to cents where the word Liberty is struck unusually high, misaligned, or shows a double impression, creating a visual distinction that collectors crave. Now, let's talk about market value and demand. Coin collecting isn't just a hobby anymore, it's a global passion and an investment field. In the current coin market, even small cent coins from recent decades are gaining attention due to metal shortages, historical relevance, and increased awareness on social media platforms. Collectors worldwide are hunting for coins that have errors, rare finishes, or uncirculated condition. A 2012 Lincoln Shield cent graded in mint state condition by PCGS or NGC, say, MS67 or higher, can already command impressive prices. But if you find that special top Liberty variant with unique characteristics, you could be looking at a collector's dream. Here's what adds even more value: the story behind it. Lincoln pennies connect every generation of Americans. From the Great Depression to today's digital world, this little coin has witnessed over a century of economic, cultural, and political change. Each cent carries a piece of history, a reminder of Abraham Lincoln's enduring legacy of honesty, unity, and courage. The 2012 Lincoln Liberty penny also marked a decade since the mint introduced the shield design. It represents protection, strength, and America's core ideals. The design itself features a single shield with 13 vertical stripes and a horizontal banner that reads 1 cent, symbolizing the unity of the original 13 colonies under one nation. Now let's talk about spotting the rare ones. If you have a 2012 penny, grab a magnifying glass and look closely at these areas: the word Liberty, Lincoln's eye, the date, and the edges of the coin. If you notice doubling, raised metal, cracks, or die chips, you may be looking at a valuable error coin. Some of these have sold online for hundreds of dollars, especially when they are bright, uncirculated, and professionally graded. And here's a tip: don't clean your coin. Cleaning can damage the surface and reduce its value. Instead, store it safely, handle it carefully, and if it looks promising, get it graded by a professional service. The market for Lincoln cents is stronger than ever. Online platforms, coin shows, and collector forums are filled with discussions about Shield cents, 2009 bicentennial designs, and of course, the 2012 Liberty error. As more collectors enter the market, prices rise, and even coins once considered common are now seen as hidden gems. So, if you're watching this video right now, take a moment to check your change, your old jars, or your inherited collections. You never know, that shiny 2012 penny sitting quietly in your drawer might just be worth hundreds of dollars. Every coin tells a story, and every collector is part of that story. Whether you're new to the hobby or a long-time enthusiast, remember, patience, knowledge, and observation can turn a small coin into a treasure. This was your host from Coins, bringing you another amazing discovery from the world of rare and valuable coins. If you love learning about coin history, rare finds, and market values, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Coins for more incredible stories and hidden treasures from your pocket change. Stay curious, keep collecting, and who knows, the next fortune might just be in your hands.